Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are diving deep into the world of open source intelligence, or OSINT, to look at a powerful information collection tool available for Linux systems called littlebrother. Specifically, we are looking at version 2.1. Before we even open the terminal or look at code, we need to have a serious conversation about ethics and responsibility. The tools we discuss on this channel, including littlebrother, are designed for cybersecurity professionals, penetration testers, and individuals wanting to audit their own digital privacy. This tool was developed to do research on yourself, to see exactly what private and sensitive information you might be leaving behind on social media or the open web. I in no way encourage the use of this tool on anyone other than yourself or for any malicious purpose. Unauthorized information gathering can be illegal and is always unethical. You are responsible for your actions. So what exactly is littlebrother? It is an OSINT tool originally designed to carry out research on persons specifically in France, Switzerland, Luxembourg, and Belgium, but it has evolved. The version we are discussing today has been modified to include English language support and various modules that allow for efficient searches worldwide. Many people in the community compare it to tools like User Recon, but you will often find littlebrother to be more powerful in its scope. One of the massive advantages here is accessibility. Unlike many modern OSINT enterprise tools that require expensive subscriptions or complex API keys to function, littlebrother does not require an API key or a login ID to get started. It scrapes and aggregates data that is publicly available, showing you just how exposed that data really is. Let's break down the capabilities of littlebrother because it packs a lot into a command line interface. The core functionality revolves around lookups. This is the bread and butter of OSINT. The tool includes modules for phone lookup, email lookup, and specific name searches, including last name, first name, and surname lookups. When you run a phone lookup, for example, the tool isn't hacking a telecom provider, it is searching public databases, leaks, and social media associations to find where that number appears. The same applies to the address lookup. It aggregates data to paint a picture of a target's physical location based on their digital breadcrumbs. Beyond just names and numbers, littlebrother dives into technical geolocation. It features a mail IP locator and a general IP locator. This helps in tracing the origin of digital communications. A particularly interesting feature is the BSSID locator. BSSID stands for Basic Service Set Identifier, which is essentially the MAC address of a wireless access point or router. If you can identify a BSSID, there are databases that can map that specific router to a physical geographic location. This is often how devices determine their location without GPS, and littlebrother harnesses that for reconnaissance. Then we have the social media and platform-specific modules. The tool automates searches across Google, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and it even includes a new feature for LinkedIn employee search. This is critical for corporate red teaming. If you are hired to test the security of a company, finding the employees on LinkedIn is the first step in understanding the organization's human attack surface. The tool also includes a docs maker. Now, the term docs often carries a negative connotation, but in a professional context, this feature automates the creation of a report. It compiles the gathered data into a structured format so you can present the findings to a client or review your own exposure clearly. There is also an experimental or alpha module for reading Exif data, which is metadata hidden inside image files that can reveal camera settings, dates, and sometimes GPS coordinates. Now that we understand the power of this framework, let's talk about how to get it running on your machine. The installation process is straightforward, provided you are running a Linux environment like Kali Linux, Ubuntu, or Debian. You need to ensure you have two main dependencies installed on your system, Git and Python 3. To start, open your terminal. you will first want to update your package list and install the dependencies. You would type sudo apt install git python 3 and hit enter. Once those packages are installed, you need to clone the repository from GitHub. You will type git clone followed by the URL for the Abir Hassan 2005 Little Brother repository. That creates a directory on your machine with all the necessary files. Next, you need to move into that directory. You do this by typing cd littlebrother. Once you are inside the folder, there are some Python requirements that need to be satisfied. The repository comes with a requirements text file for this exact purpose. You will run the command python3-m pip install-r requirements.txt. This command tells the pip package manager to install all the libraries listed in that file. It might take a moment to download and set everything up. Finally, to launch the tool, you simply type python3 littlebrother.py, and that's it. You will be greeted with the Little Brother banner and the main menu. Once you have it installed and running, you'll see a few other categories in the menu that we haven't touched on yet. Under Otra Tools or Other Tools, you will find hash brute force. This is a classic security testing function. If you find a hashed password in a breach or database, you can't read it directly. A brute force tool attempts to guess the password by hashing millions of combinations and seeing if they match the target hash. While simple, it's an essential part of understanding password security. Then there is the social engineering section. This is where things get very serious and where the ethical lines must be strictly observed. This section includes modules for spam mail and spoof phone. In a legitimate engagement, a penetration tester might use these to test if a company's employees can identify a phishing attempt or a spoofed caller ID. However, these are the tools that are most easily misused. So I reiterate, do not use these on anyone without explicit written permission. It also features a profiler, which allows you to build a profile of a target, manage a database of these profiles, and create new ones. This helps in organizing the data you have collected over a long-term investigation. When you look at Little Brother as a complete package, it's essentially a force multiplier for an analyst. Instead of manually going to 10 different websites to check a username or manually cross-referencing an IP address, this tool automates the grunt work. It allows you to see the connections between a phone number, a Facebook account, and a physical location in a matter of minutes. For those of you looking to protect yourselves, running this tool on your own identity is an eye-opening exercise. You might find that an old account you forgot about is exposing your current phone number. You might find that a photo you posted years ago has Exif data that reveals your home address. This is the value of ethical OSINT. By seeing what the attackers can see, we can take steps to remove that information, change our privacy settings, and secure our digital lives. That brings us to the end of this overview of Little Brother version 2.1. It is a versatile, powerful, and accessible tool for anyone interested in the depths of information gathering on Linux. Remember to check out the repositories from Lul's Exploit, Oprax, and Abir Hassan 2005 to keep up with updates and changes to the code. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content on ethical hacking, cybersecurity tools, and digital privacy. Stay safe, stay ethical, and I will see you in the next one.